Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. 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 Music licensing reimagined. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. 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 Music licensing reimagined. Music licensing.
Take that off. Get rid of that. Yo, what is up, everybody?
Mm-hmm.
You know who it is. We are, a little bit late, but we are having some technical difficulties. First time having another guest on. You know what I mean? It comes with the territory, and we're prepared for that. You know what I mean? So
difficulties here.
Troy
Zip.
and our special guest, we got motherfucking
Ace Kannon.
Ace Kannon in the house, bro. New London's finest. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that, man. Glad to be here. I think this is great what y'all two have created, especially because there's a stigma that is so frowned upon for men to talk about things that they're going through or dealing with and don't know how to process it mentally or emotionally.
No, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So a lot of men just act out physically. So I appreciate y'all having me a part of it.
Of course. I mean, we'll get right into it. Like, what kind of mental health battles have you experienced?
So many.
I mean,
so
like
many.
ones that you're like willing and confident enough to talk about.
I mean,
because I understand how.
Yeah, no. I'm not shy or nothing. You know what I mean? I've had 3 stints in a psych ward. One in Hartford at the Institute of Living, the IOL, and then 2 back in New York in South Nassau, Long Island. I remember my first mental breakdown was in front of my older 2 when they were babies. So after that happened, I took myself to New York and checked myself into, a hospital and everything, got evaluated and stuff like that. So started me on the medication, which I'm still on to this day. But even before that, I was on medication.
Right.
So I've been medicated most of my life.
Actually, felt that. What are you experiencing with your medication, and like what kind of meds are you on, and like, you know what I mean, like,
so
kind of give us the breakdown there.
All right. Me personally, even when I was younger, I hated taking medication.
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to take Ritalin when I was a kid.
Yep.
That shit made me feel like a zombie.
Oh, absolutely.
I could barely eat on that. It was just, I hated it. But I had ADD, ADHD, all that type of stuff. There was a point we was going with this, and now I forgot.
How is it working for you? Is it working well? Like,
I mean, my meds work. They do what they need to do. I take a combo of meds. Yeah. I take Lexapro. I take Boost Bar. I take Lexapro, Boost Bar, Tegretol. I take medication for my heart because I've had 2 open heart surgeries and I have a defibrillator. So
I was actually gonna get into that, like how that.
Man, long story short, I got jumped back in New York, and my nose got broken in the process. My nose is still broken from it. I was trying to get cleared to get my nose fixed, and they found issues with my heart, so all the attention shifted to that. So between getting jumped, having open heart surgery within like 6 months of each other, I had like short-term memory loss and everything. That's why, like, you'll see me space out sometimes and forget what the hell we talking about. Like, it sucks, but I dealt with that alone. You know what I mean? Is that an answer?
It's just right up.
Oh, I was like, I thought you was pressing something. I'm like,
you see that, man? It says Dos Vatos on it, bro.
Yeah.
When's the last time they gave a fuck, man?
And that's it. That's why it's like the best part of you being here. You know what I mean? You give a.
I don't give a fuck.
That's it. Straight up, don't give a fuck. and that's why we're doing it, because we don't give a fuck if y'all like it or not. We're gonna be out here helping fix, one man at a time. You know what I mean? But there is a couple things that I wanted to touch on before we really get into you know, as some of y'all know, based on like Facebook posts, you know, we lost a technician at BMW. Derek was definitely he was a good dude. He was a good buddy of mine. You know what I mean? So I just wanna you know, take a quick moment and I don't know if y'all, you know, pray, whatever. Just a quick moment of silence for his family. You know what I mean? It's never easy dealing with a loss like this. So yeah, I just want to take that moment real quick. It's heavy shit, man. So, something that weighed on my mind a lot all weekend. You know, being that we found out on Friday, it was rough to say the least. Friday was not all right. You know what I mean? So I've been struggling with that mentally, and you know, my brother ended up in the hospital with a collapsed lung on Thanksgiving. So like it was just a lot to take in a
week.
very short period of time. So like he's home now, he's safe now. So like thank God, you know what I mean. He started his new job today. So like
that's always good.
Prayers up for him and you know bless him. Fucking Zip. How was your weekend? How was your Thanksgiving?
Man, we kept it simple, man. I mean, with everything that's been going on lately, we just try to keep everybody close. I mean, obviously that's what the holidays are about, but we didn't do no big get-togethers. We didn't have no big parties. We just kept it close. You know, kids, grandparents. That's it. You know, I mean, there's a lot going on right now that kind of just that really needed to happen. It wasn't really about the food, but just having that
closeness and
that close, not even having no chaos. Like it's great to have like that holiday chaos. You have all your people over, you have all your family over, but this year it really wasn't about that. We tried to keep everything real close and real tight. So it was good, man. What about you?
I mean, in the week leading up to Thanksgiving, my in-laws were up from Texas, so we did our Thanksgiving the Saturday before.
Yep, I got to meet them.
That was super dope. Yeah, that's right, because we did the podcast and he was here for that.
Yep.
I'm gonna pause on this for a minute, but yeah, I mean it was super dope having them up here. So we did our Thanksgiving, and then our actual Thanksgiving was literally just me and the fam, me, the wife, and the kids. You know, we stayed home. We didn't do nothing. I baked a little apple pie type shit. You know what I mean? And we just got Thanksgiving bumping that way, and it was perfect given what we had going on. You know what I mean? There was 9 people in this house at any given point in time. You've been in this motherfucker. It ain't that big. 9 people in this house is a lot of kids. You know what I mean? And then obviously, with the parents up, you can't burn one in a room and in the comfort of our room. So you got to go outside. I felt like a little 15-year-old again. You know what I mean? But it was super, super, super dope. I get along with them. I love my in-laws, so it was great.
Lucky you.
Yeah, it was great. And then I got the news that my brother was in the hospital, and then it kind of just went down.
Yeah, about it.
You know what I mean? Thanksgiving wasn't even over before I found that out. You know what I mean? But hey, it is what it is. It's life. You know what I mean?
Taking it in stride.
Yeah. What did you didn't have much going on Thanksgiving, did you?
I worked. I caught a plate after work at a friend's house and everything. Nothing special. I have my kids for Christmas this year, so I've been focusing on getting that right.
Yeah.
So anybody that know me know my kids get spoiled. So
what are you making?
I had people asking me if I was cooking Thanksgiving, and I was like, not this year.
Cause I'm gonna slide through for a plate. I'll bring toys for the kids and
you're
everything.
You're more than welcome.
I'm gonna need me a
I've been
plate.
telling him for years to slide through, and he's caught a couple plates and everything in the process. But it's funny you say that because I'm not set on the menu yet, but it will be a good dinner. I'll tell you
24 days, my G.
On the countdown. Who got them food stamps?
Sometime between tomorrow.
Tomorrow the 2nd.
Yeah.
I'll holler at y'all on the 3rd. You figured, damn me for the low.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Jesus.
Nah, but yeah, man, that's really all I've been focusing on. Just Christmas shopping, getting ready for my kids. making sure Christmas is just memorable for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
And just I try to outdo myself and everything every year, especially with like birthdays, and because sometimes I've even streamed a Christmas and everything where like my kids
That's
wanted
dope.
to stream it and
That's
know share what they were getting online and everything. So, but I be going for like those moments.
Absolutely.
You feel me? So
I see it. You know what I mean? It's anybody that knows you knows like you're a good dad. You know what I mean? We're just a trio of good dads, right here. You know what I mean? We do it for the kids. I see what you do. You know what I mean? I know that we know that you go through some shit, but. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like you're
I'm 10 toes down when it comes to my babies.
That's it.
Listen, a father of 4, I do not play about mine. So that's why I came back to Connecticut. You know what I mean?
It's a great reason to come back to Connecticut.
Shit, that's why I ended up back here too.
You feel me? Like I don't play about my babies, and anybody that know me know that. I know when he came back from where he was at in the Midwest and everything. Like, you know. It's a lot of years that we actually know each other right here.
Yeah.
Like,
because I first heard of you back when.
Oh man, you was talking about that.
Like early, like it was. We were what 2012, 2013 is when you started.
My very first loose cannons, 2012, right after my oldest was born.
Yeah,
after my oldest was born.
I remember that, and then it was. From there, and then we ran into each other at the Dizza show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at the Dizza show. Yep. He invited me.
Yeah.
Yep. He invited me.
Yep.
And everything. And then you were like, yo, I've been listening to you since your first shit. I was like,
what? It's crazy. Like
I was like, yo, to hear that, like you don't. I mean, for me as an artist, I try to like network everywhere and everything, but to hear somebody that's been not only listens to you previously or recent, but someone that knows your catalog from the beginning and you're an independent artist, like that to me was special. You feel me? I don't hear much of that. And I have an extensive catalog. Like I get busy. But so that meant the world to me and shit. So when you told me that, I was like, you gonna lock in with him. And then ever since the Digital Show, you and me locked in. We've had personal conversations about life, music, everything that we going through, you know what I mean? And just like I've told you.
Once like y'all. I was a rapper once. I was once
Father Troy. Father Troy.
Might fuck around and drop a mixtape on y'all heads.
You might need to, bro.
I absolutely cannot.
No, it's not.
Nah. It's not. I put all my time and effort into this. You know what I mean? Just
ain't nothing wrong with that. But creativity has no boundaries or time limits. You figured them.
That's facts.
You clearly just told me how we got here to this. You know what I'm saying?
I was telling him like I told you, this whole shit right here was just in a dream one night, and then the next day I was like, I'm gonna just rearrange it real quick, and this is it locked. You know what I mean?
I was like, stars aligning. Stars aligning. So
definitely dope.
Yeah, man. So let's like actually get into it, man. So we promised some of our viewers, all of our viewers, to actually, you know, get into the nitty gritty of all this shit, man. So Ace, you know, with all of the stuff that you got going on with your kids and the things you be experiencing with your kid's mother, aside from, you know, what happens on social media and behind closed doors, but how do you yourself like navigate through all that? Because I know she be trying to put ideas into your kids' heads, and I know what it's like to have to try to unpack all of that and kind of just undo that shit. So like how do you get through that?
So quick breakdown, you know, being a father of 4, all my children have the same mom. It was an ugly breakup, and because lies were being told when somebody was trying to play the victim, I made it public because I was like, you're not gonna lie on me, act like I'm the bad guy when you're trying to pull all of this. So when it poured over into social media, people were already seeing before the breakup, you know, things I would do with my kids, the activities I would do with them, taking them to the park, games, like, you know, activities, stuff like that. So it was a lot to deal with. You know, going back in my head right now to that time, like it was tough. It was really tough, and I've always credited. I had a friend back in New York who gave me some really hard truths to deal with when I was already down and feeling like shit.
Yeah, but sometimes that's what you need. Though.
Exactly.
That's what
You
need.
feel me?
Yeah.
And I forever love him for that, because I would not be who I am right now if it wasn't for that reevaluation of myself.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And really taking a look back, like, you know, I'm definitely not perfect. You know, I'm not saying that, you know, she was all in the wrong. You know I did my things that made, you know, things go the way they did, but you know what's kept a lot of, you know, it boiling over throughout the years is just, you know, my biggest focus is my kids. I'm not one of those baby fathers that, you know, I've met men that, like, if they can't have the woman, they don't give a F about the kid. You feel me? Like, or
But who you really hurting at that point?
yeah, you know what I mean? But you got men that are just so selfish and mentally immature, like they don't see that.
Right.
But you got also women who take advantage of stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To manipulate the situation and make it look like they're the hero, the dad is the bad guy. You know, if you've ever dealt with a baby mother, or, you know, grew up without a father or a parent or a mother, like, having a baby mother or a baby father make you understand why you didn't have a parent growing up and stuff. But like I said, once that stuff poured over into the social media, my therapy for me was the music. Like, that's how I really navigated through it. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like I'm going down a river, but like I still have an arm, like, showing where I am in the water.
Yeah.
Barely. You know what I mean? But from that song, Miss Heartless, that I made based off of when things started happening, a lot of people looked at me in a new light, because I'm known for a lot of street music. I'm known for a lot of hard music, stuff like that. Pause. And to me, I wanted to show that, because to me, it showed people, like, listen, I am human. You know what I mean? I do go through things. You know what I mean? And that music video and song, got so much love, comments, stuff like that, because people were really like, "Oh my God, this is relatable."
Right, and relatable music sells, and relatable
music, you feel me? Like,
it goes viral for the right reasons. You know what I mean? It helps people. Like, if I come across a song that helps me, like, I'm gonna listen to that bitch on repeat.
Yeah, that's how I am.
mean?
That's how, like, just I get in my mode, whether I find something I like, or like, it's funny because I'll write and create all this music when I'm going through this stuff as my therapy, but then, like, if I'm dealing with the same reoccurring situation, sometimes I forget to go back and listen to my music, because I'm such, like, a busy worker when it comes to music. And like, I'm always just projects, songs, just artists, everything. So
there's a lot of moving pieces to the music side.
Yeah, exactly. You feel me? So whatever I go through, like, I just dropped a project, you know, right before Thanksgiving, Loose Cannon 5. Judgment Day, hosted by DJ Big Mike. And to me, even before it dropped, I was saying, like, this is a lot of wisdom music. Like, as I listen to it, like,
have you noticed the progression and the change?
Yes, exactly.
Now, would you say that you're on, I wouldn't call it like a spiritual path, but are you on like a path to, like, just really get right with yourself as compared to, like,
just growth?
Yeah, self-growth is always there, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if I gotta check myself, you know what I mean? Because sometimes I be out there and need to pull myself back real quick, you know what I mean? And I feel like we all do, you know what I mean? But when you have friends like that that'll do that for you, a lot of niggas don't know how to take shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They feel
no
like
fact.
attacked. You know what I mean? Like, nah, bro, those are the type of people you want around that
Yeah.
like are that actually give a f about your well being for you. Especially if you deal with mental health issues and don't know how to control your anger, don't know how to control your emotions. If you
Don't know how to communicate them.
Yeah,
to,
like,
find a way to communicate them. You know.
I'm not saying this like a person is dumb, but if you're not emotionally intelligent and don't know how to recognize your emotions, especially as they happen, like it leads to a lot of men, you know, going to jail, catching domestic violence cases, catching assault cases or felonies. You know what I'm saying? I'm a felon myself, you know, so the the what's it called? They stack up against you, bricks or some shit.
The cards.
There you go. Thank you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like I've got a lot of things stacked up against me, and I've had people tell me like, "Yo, you're a poster child of why like kids join gangs and go to jail." You know what I'm saying? Like I've had people tell me that when I was in jail back years ago, 15 years ago.
Just another statistic.
Yeah, you feel me?
yeah.
Exactly. Like, yo, you fit the mold of everything. Why we do, you know what I mean? Why people do that?
Another
you know what I mean?
another fatherless fucking
reckless, just a reckless young kid, you feel me, with like no guidance. But you know, even before I went to jail, my biggest thing that kept me on like a straight and narrow, if you could call it that mentally, like not getting into drugs. Yeah. As far as like a user and everything. But was just knowing I wanted kids so badly and music. That was it. All the trauma, all the things I went through as a child and everything. Like after I came home from jail, I was just dead set on having kids. And, you know, I selfishly paid for that. Now, you know, I look back at this situation and reevaluate it so many different ways, because when you're in relationships or situations, and especially when there's heavily, you know, emotions involved, you don't think clearly. Right. You know, so for good-hearted people, I can just say that, you know, most of the time people think of the best intentions for that person. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that also play the other side of that and try to just selfishly use or take advantage of people for whatever they can gain out of it, not caring who they hurt in the process. So I've dealt with a lot of people like that, and that's why I'm very to myself. I don't deal with a lot of people.
It's not worth it. It's way too much trouble waiting to happen.
It's just drama to me, and me, I know myself. Like I know how like volatile and violent I can get. Yeah. To a degree, but then there's like another part of me like, yo, if that switch goes off and you just black out, like I'll be scaring myself sometimes, like, you know. Yeah. But even I just had an incident like a month or two ago and everything. My kids was with me, like, where a dude backed out on me and everything in the car when I was
The devil always tests you when you got the kids with you.
Man, let me tell you, yo. My daughter was like, "Stay in the car, Bobby. Stay in the car."
Man, and everything in you was just like, I want to just.
No, I got out the car. I got out the car. I had my, you know, something on me and anything ready to go. And the dude pulled out a hammer. I'm like, and the only thing I said was, not with my kids. And I'm ran straight back to the car, got them out of there, make sure they were safe. Tried to talk to them because they were shooken up and everything. You know?
It's a wild situation, and that's, you know.
It was, yo. You feel me? Because I explained to my kids, I'm like, that's not the first time, you know, this ever happened to me. And they were just like, what? I'm like, you know, and I'm trying to talk them through it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's not something, you know, it could have happened anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's not something normal that just happens on a random Sunday in front, or a Saturday in front of an elementary school. Yeah, no, you feel me?
Yeah,
so
no, definitely not.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But yeah.
It's a wild situation.
Listen, my biggest thing was just my kids' safety and making sure they was good.
You definitely made the right move. Now, here's a question for you: what would you like 5 years? What would you 5 years ago would have done? Like, what would that person have done?
5 years ago, I came to New London during COVID, because my kids were letting me know what was going on at their you know, at their
Yeah.
mother's house and everything. And I left New York. I came here to New London and did the shelter, slept in my car, other people's couches, trap houses, all that shit for like a year until I got my apartment and everything, just so I could be closer to my kids and make sure they was good.
No, absolutely.
So knowing that you were in that situation, if what happened to you the other day happened 5 years ago at that time, what would your reaction have been?
Would you have?
What mental state were you in 5 years ago when you came
5
back to
years
New
ago
London?
when I came out there, I probably would have went to one of my homies that
Mhm.
was right near Shaw Street.
Mhm.
Gave him the phone call, like, yeah, I need something real quick.
Right,
and
it would have got
borrow
turned up
some-
fast.
Big
what I
fact,
mean?
you feel me?
it would-
And- And I'm not even gonna hold you. I dropped my kids off, man. I went to try to find that little nigga. I was like, boy, because I spoke to my mans about it, and he was like, man, you kind of known out here. I said, I don't feel like I am personally, but
Right.
he's like, it must have been a young nigga. I was like, it must have been because, boy. But yeah, like I said, you know. That was a perfect example of me being stupid. You know what I mean? I let my emotions supersede my intelligence, and because I got, you know, egged on by that, you know, now my kids seen something that they shouldn't have maybe had to. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. No. For sure.
That's me taking accountability for myself and shit. That's not me blaming it on him. You know what I mean? Because I could have kept driving.
Of course.
You know what I mean? But you know. My kids, when I spoke to them, you know, we sat them down after everything, make sure they were good, because that's, you know, that's a traumatic experience and shit. I remember the first time I freaking had a gun pulled on me.
Yeah,
nigga,
me
I was
too.
like, woo!
Yeah.
Get that little like anxiety rush, like, oh my god, I survived, like.
Yeah. You ain't lying.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make sure my kids was good. You feel me? That's always my biggest thing, you know, and that's what be a lot of frustration to my mental health. You know, it is because I know how I parent and take care of and love my kids. And I just feel, you know, they don't get that same. We just don't parent the same. Let's just put it like that. You know what I mean? And I've said that very clear. y'all know me. I'm very raw, straight to the point. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. So.
Yeah. No.
I've said that to her and everything before, and like this is why we can't communicate. Like we just have clearly two, you know, different ways of parenting.
Right.
So, I don't like the drama. I'm not for it. But anybody that know me knows I'm very 10 toes down, and will, you know.
Do you notice a difference in your kids with two different parenting styles like that?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Because. And it breaks my heart because out of my 4 children, they have an older sister who I helped raise for 7 years when I was around, since she was 3. And my older 3 got to grow up with me, like kind of in the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My youngest didn't get to experience that. He was only 1 when everything imploded. So, you know, that was very difficult, especially when the other adult is convincing or telling the kids to call the new guy, or it's not even new. It was the their older sister's father. So she went back to her first baby father and everything, and she was basically telling my kids to like call him dad.
Oh, see, no, that's
You feel, yeah, like I've dealt with a lot of things that men would have killed for or like killed themselves for less. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I sit here and look at it like, even after I've gone through some of the worst things I could think of that they would try to pull on me. After I got those tears, I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. All these years, that's what I was preparing for. Like, it's it.
It's liberating though. Like
It is.
You know what I mean? 'Cause
Yes.
You feel like, all right, shit. Now I have that part of my life back. You know what I mean?
Like, yo, that's not nothing. I can deal with that. Now I'm back. What else you got?
Yep.
Because I thought that was like, you know what I mean? Up
Like
there,
the
up
end of
there.
it all, yeah.
Yeah, and listen.
There's a picture that I've seen on Facebook, and then it said some of y'all situations be like this, and it's a cage, and the bars are like this skinny, and there's like mad room, and there's, you know what I mean, like you're able to walk through them.
Yeah, but you got
like,
people
that
that play
mental-
that victim
That
mentality,
mental block,
like
you don't want to have to
Yeah.
deal with the repercussions and what you feel after that.
exactly. And a lot of people that are like narcissistic, you know what I mean? They don't know how to take accountability. I've dealt with a lot of different characteristics in narcissistic people, and you'll usually catch a lot of the same traits. You just have to learn patterns. So someone can tell you they change all the time. You know, you might do something new, might change up something, switch it up a little bit, throw me off guard. But when people talk about they heal or they want to grow and everything, if your patterns are still the same, that's not growth. You feel me? To me, that's like you putting a band-aid on a gash.
Yep.
You feel me? You're not butterflying it. You put a little band-aid on. You know what I mean? It's just, and those are the type of people I try to avoid because I know how I get. And you got people that really don't know how to take logic or communicate. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was in the shelter, perfect example of mental health all over you. You know what I mean? All over you. Pause. All around you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, even in there, like I had situations that tempted me very eagerly. So, but.
Well, I applaud you for not, you know what I mean? Just keep it headstrong is the
It's not easy to do, man. You know what I mean? My children, no lie, are like my purpose. You feel me? Like I said it when I came out here. Like I'm not like y'all. I'm not in and out of jail just doing this for fun. Like I came here with a purpose. Came here to get close to my kid. You know what I mean? It took almost a year, but I went through the trenches and did what I had to do. So I'm good now. You feel me?
So what are you doing these days now to maintain? What are you doing for work, and what are you doing outside of work?
Man, I work retail. You know, I receive SSI for my health, stuff like that. So, you know, I be out the way. You know what I mean? I be to myself and out the way. If I'm not working, I'm usually working on music.
Yeah.
You know, I'm putting things together. If I'm not with my children, or if it's not music, I'm working on, my kids are with me, spending time with them, taking them to the park, taking them shopping, cooking for them. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that to me is my therapy. Like, my children being with me and just taking care of them. So,
I love that.
Like,
you know what I mean?
I know a lot of people will talk about it like it sound good and shit, but or like, you know, you got them niggas that act like Facebook dads of the year and shit. They get their kid for a weekend and take pictures.
But see, that's why I'm not all over Facebook, because I'm actually busy being a father.
You
what I mean?
feel
So
me?
like,
Exactly.
you know, not a lot of people really have those questions, because the people who know me know that like I'm not here trying to capture moments. I'm living the moments.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like when I'm out doing shit with my kids or whatever, like I'm not trying to make this fucking post to fucking put glitter all over my fucking life and get everybody to give me a fucking pat on the back, and a round of applause. You know what I mean? No, like I'm being an actual father. You know?
Exactly. We ran into each other at the park.
Yeah.
A few times.
Word.
And everything. So, like, I love to see that, especially
doing shit at the park, and not the shit we used to do at the park, bro. Back in the day, we used to run into the park making plays, bro. now we run into each other at the fucking park, and we got our fucking.
And then our kids are playing at the park, and
now we playing basketball with the kids.
Exactly.
You know?
I love it.
That's awesome.
That's growth.
Big facts though. But y'all gotta understand too that there's a lot of people that don't want growth because being the victim gets them empathy, gets them pity.
Because it's easy.
Exactly. You feel me? And it's sad because so many people don't have accountability.
It only works for so long though, because it ends up being that fucking boy who cry wolf shit. You know what I mean? Like eventually people around you fucking catch on, and then you by yourself fucking eating your own shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
but then you got somebody like myself who I'm very like, I run a strict program over here. You feel me? Like, you play around or disrespect me in any way, shape, or form, like, scissors, it's getting cut before it get violent. Cause as a man, I don't play about my respect, and I definitely don't play about my kids. You know what I mean? Everything else, all that, you know, you got niggas that talk shit online and niggas that talk shit on text, prank call, like everybody do that tough guy shit online, but
Yeah, but also like us as fathers and everything, and
we have
like,
shit to lose.
We
you know what
got
I'm
shit to
saying?
lose, so that's what puts people like us in difficult situations. Because I know myself, and I know shit that I'm tempted to do when shit arises. But like now we actually have to show our strength through restraint.
Restraint.
You know what I mean? And that's even more difficult than
And that's
popping off on somebody, because that's easy as hell.
Yeah,
and that's what nobody. Then that's what nobody of the older generation is talking to these young dudes about. Like, you know what I mean? Like I see a lot. Let me back up.
Go ahead.
I see people trying, but I don't think they're.
It's not resonating. It's not clicking.
And we have to figure out a way to make it, because coming up doing like living in a fucking slide in a park in Middletown was not it. You know what I mean? Making plays at the park is not it. You know what I mean? Especially like there wasn't street cameras on every fucking corner when we grew up. There wasn't doorbell cameras on every fucking house when we grew up. You know what I mean? Like we were able to like go be kids and do the dumb shit, but like
still not get caught.
Dude, how many high schoolers we see nowadays crashing the fuck out because they don't know how to deal with their mom, who's only, maybe 15 years older than them, raising, they're by themselves. They got no father. You know what I mean? Like, it's a revolving fucking door.
I've literally said this on a post. I said that, and it's a hard truth that a lot of people may not want to hear, but there's a lot of these emotional ass men, these boys that don't know how to control their emotions because a lot of them are raised by single mothers who are by nature just emotional creatures. So if there's no, man in that child's life as far as stability, whether it's the father, the uncle, grandfather, whoever, you know what I'm saying?
But I'm living proof of that.
You figured that? I mean,
you know what I mean? Like I was raised by my mother. Me and my brother were raised by my mother, and I was in and out of fucking, detentions, prisons my entire life. I was on probation from age of fucking 14, 15 all the way up until I was like 24 years old. You know what I mean? Like I was always into some fucking shit. You know what I mean? And you look at a lot of other people that grew up without a father in the home, and their mother was working multiple jobs and going to school, so there's no supervision at home. Now you got to look out for your little brother. You got to look out for whoever and whatever.
Latchkey kids.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So like that's a real thing. You know what I mean? That's not just like some shit people say. Like there's a really high likelihood you grow up without a father or a strong role model in the home, not just a single parent. Like there's a way higher probability that you're gonna deal with some shit in life.
Yeah, and those are just statistics and facts.
Yeah.
Like anybody that feels otherwise, please feel free to Google. You know what I'm saying? Before you try to chew us out in the comments.
Nah, man. Like I said, I spent pretty much all the most important years of my life being locked up, selling drugs, being addicted to drugs. I watched my son's first footsteps from behind visitor's glass, bro. Like it's it's fucking different, man. So like
that kind of pain hit different.
Especially so
if you want to redeem your, like that's something in time you can't change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and when shit like that happened to you, if you actually have any bit of a heart in you, you know what I mean? Like you will never want to put a child through that.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to try to redeem yourself, you know what I mean, from that situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not easy, especially with men who were not taught to communicate in a healthy way. You know what I mean? Like myself, my biological parents were together until like 12, 13 when the divorce came, and then I lived with a single mother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean it was, for me, it was since like age 5, and that entire time, aside from him being like locked up for child support or whatever, dudes always live within a few minutes from the crib. You know what I mean? So like he's always been literally like right there, but it's like,
see, and what kills me is because I've heard and seen so many men in that situation where like they're so within reach of their children and they don't give a
Yeah, and what's wild too is like, so the last time I ever seen my father, right, was at my uncle's wake, and
I was about to say funeral. But
it for real, but
Generally,
I felt that one like
you know the first thing that comes out of his mouth, like, oh, you know, I wanted to be there, but your mother, like, bro, like,
always
that's what
You-
that's the
you-
opening statement at the wake to
Bro,
your
That's
child.
a wild way to.
you
that's a
are
wild
you
way to
are you
start.
are you ever gonna let a woman stop you from seeing your kids?
Me?
You.
Anybody that knows
No.
me know that's not.
No,
happening.
absolutely not, bro. And
I'm
mind
so
you,
10 toes
Mind-
down. Court know me so well up in Norwich. Let me tell you.
and mind you, bro, you only gotta pay child support till your kid's 18, bro. I'm 32 years old,
I got less
Bro,
than
I'm-
10 years left on my bid.
bro. I'm 32 years old, bro, and a lot of other people, like, they went their entire fucking adult lives and they hear that same excuse from their biological father, like, oh, your mother never let me do this.
Yeah,
Like, bro, I've
okay.
been an adult for like
First
almost
of all,
20
yeah.
years. Bro.
Yo, facts.
I'm
a
like,
father for at least 10
yeah,
of them, you know what I mean?
at least 10 of those years I've been there. You know what I'm saying? But that's what, like, I've had even people from Hartford and other music artists that like have reached out over the years asking, like, you know, seeing the things that I post because I'm going through stuff.
Yeah.
And these are like my receipts.
Yo, yeah.
Because I have nothing to lie about. I don't need publicity for it. I don't need the attention for it or the empathy or the pity. I'm just stating facts. You're not gonna lie on me. You know what I mean?
Tell me.
And then try to act like I'm over here bugging and my kids is lying. When my children are coming to me telling me consistently about like the same type of behaviors that's going on and shit. You feel me? So and I'm just not, anybody that know me know I'm just not one of those dudes that back down. Like, period. Let alone, you know, to that. But,
Yeah, no, it's wild. I had to hunt down my biological father when I was like 20.
I know
we have,
who
a, we,
mine
have a,
is,
we
but-
have a good relationship now. Like, I'm thankful for that. But like, there was a lot of he was on the business end of a lot of anger.
Yeah.
You know.
I know the feeling. And I'm one of those dudes that could actually say, like, yo, I carry a lot of rage. I carry a lot of pain. I carry a lot of shit. Just because I've been surviving for so many years in survivor mode, like, I don't know how to, like, turn that switch off. And over the past few years, as I've moved out to New London, I've tried to, like, reprogram myself a little bit, like, yo, it's okay
Tired of
now.
fighting for your
Yeah, you feel me? But I'm still fighting though, because now I'm fighting for my kids. You know what I'm saying? In a different type of battle.
I was gonna say that's a whole
different type of battle that, you know, like I've said before, I've had other people tell me, like, yo, lesser men would have quit, ran away, you know, signed over the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the one that wanted the kids. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, so obviously you're gonna do what you need to do for them. You know what I mean?
I've talk about accountability. Like, I've sat there with myself, like, yeah, nigga, you said you wanted kids, right? Since you was a kid, you wanted kids, right? Just because I used to think just because I knew I would be a good parent,
You
I
just assumed that.
yeah, when you young and dumb, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm older now. I look at the situations I've been in from a different view and a different angle to understand it in a whole different way that I was too immature to see it when I was in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know how to assess themselves or situations when they're in the situation, because they let emotions take over. They let their emotions supersede their intelligence. Long story short.
I mean, that's the clearest way I could have put it. That was great.
Thank
I mean, nothing but valid points.
Again, I have nothing to lie about. You feel me? Like, I'm just one of those people in general. So, you know, speaking about something, you know, on a topic that I have much experience in, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I just try to break it down for other people to understand the best way possible. You feel me? So, but, you know, it's when you, for me, when I had children, it was just like, my life ain't my life no more. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm here for them.
Every step you take.
Yeah,
has to
you feel
be-
me? Like anything that I do trickles down. You know what I mean? They can't be right if I'm not right. So I gotta get myself right, get my shit together, and make sure I can be there for them how
Yeah.
they deserve me to be there for them. You know what I mean? Because they didn't ask for this situation.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't ask for two parents to split. You know what I mean? However it happened, however it ended, whatever happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
So, and it's a shame too, because I see so many men that try to use like the kid as like a pawn, same as I see women. You know what I mean?
Because it does go both.
It does go both ways. You know what I'm saying? I'm just because I've gone through, you know, my type of situations and speak how I do about, you know, what I see a lot of females do and patterns and behavior and stuff like that. A lot of people they find the same characteristics in different people and go through the same type of situations in different people because they have no accountability or try to learn from anything that they've gone through or what they've done.
Faced with that situation.
Yeah, like when you try to put a mirror up to somebody because you want that for them, you can't make them want it for themselves. You feel me? Like, so I feel that's one thing that I took away from the breakup. Like, no matter how much you may, you know, hold a person in good standings and good light and put them on a pedestal or whatever title y'all give a person, if they've never given you proof that they can be that person or do the things that you're in your mind holding them up to that standard, you're setting yourself up. You know what I mean?
You're just wishing at that point.
Yeah, you feel me?
Yeah.
Like you have, because people allow their emotions to supersede their intelligence. Because just because you may emotionally be connected to this person
doesn't mean it's reciprocated.
Yeah.
That too.
Yep.
But just because you have the emotional aspect doesn't mean how you're visioning them, they're capable of doing how you're visioning them. Like you put this standard on a person and they haven't even done anything to show you that they can do that or live up to that standard that you put in your head. And that's what sets up so many people for, you know, disappointment, failure, breakups.
And then people start placing blame.
Oh yeah, there's always the blame game.
That's the biggest thing is like,
oh my god,
once they realize that they need to adjust, it could be something very, very small, but they don't know how to communicate it, and because they can't adjust to it, it's her fault and it's his fault, then they split up.
See, for me, even my children know, because it's very difficult for me and her to communicate, like even like over simple things. You know, that's why I do my best just to keep communication to a minimum, because I'm not gonna waste my energy fighting,
of course,
over petty stuff. But you know, when you try to talk to somebody and they just don't get it, like you see how we're talking. I can articulate myself and speak, you know, clearly, try to elaborate, break shit down. No matter how much you do that for somebody, some people just don't want to hear it because that means they really got to look at themselves in the mirror. And a lot of people don't like that ugly truth because
you couldn't tell me shit about myself hell a year ago. You know what I mean? So like I get it. Now I have to take a minute. You know what I mean? Like take in other people's opinions. You know what I mean? I bounce so many ideas off of it. You know,
when you have a healthy support system, bro, it's amazing. I've seen it from afar, but me experience that. There's certain individuals where I could zip as one of them. You know what I mean? We've been in the studio. He's come over my house. I've been over his house. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So for artists and producers, anything music acclimated and stuff like that, that to me is just that's my therapy. That's my release. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Things that you think about doing, but you don't actually go out and act on it. And I feel like a lot of people that deal with mental health issues, especially people that aren't medicated, when you get to those dark places and you start thinking really, you know, graphic, detailed thoughts of things that make you uncomfortable, it's okay to take a breath. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to reach out to whoever you feel you can trust. Because I will say in that same breath, don't always allow everyone close to you. And by that, I mean like with your personal information, how you feel, the things you're going through, because that can always be weaponized to be used against you or held against you. You know, I myself have been through that many of times. So, what is it? Let me ask you, whatever you're going through in life, as of recent, do you feel that you're handling it headstrong?
Yeah. Yeah, and not only because I have no choice to, but what's happened to me recently, it kind of just lit a fire underneath me. You know what I mean? Is like it was not a time for me to just sit there and live in pity. You know what I mean? You know, like it was not that time for me. That time of my life is like long gone. I'm 3 kids in now.
Yeah.
I'm only 5 months into a job that I just started that I'm trying to make a career out of, and
I'm very proud of you for that. By the way,
I appreciate you, but I just on top of the shit I just went through recently with my children's mother, it wasn't that long ago where I had to fucking readjust my entire life and get a new job and start a new career. You know what I mean? I was in the home remodeling business for a long time, and I was settled in. I was making bread, and I was doing good. You know what I mean? And I was, credit was looking good. I was ready to buy a house pretty soon, and just trying to get all my ducks in a row. And then my whole life flipped upside down, and then I have to start a new job, and then that's really overwhelming too, going from a job where I'm home with my kids and my family every day at 4 o'clock. Now I'm working at a real shit where sometimes, like tonight, right, I just barely made it here tonight because I'm usually out at 5 o'clock on Mondays, but I didn't leave there until after 7, right? And we close at 7, so 2 nights out of the week I am normally there till 7, but it's a whole different shit that I've been adjusting to. And now you add in the fact that now I'm raising my kids on my own and working this job until my children's mother gets whatever she needs figured the fuck out and stabilize herself so she can do whatever she needs to do to help with the kids. Whatever, that's up to her, not my problem no more. But like that, but having to deal with that now, I don't really got the time to sit there and be sad about it. I don't which also, I mean, I guess could raise some concerns in some people, are you even processing any of this? Are you feeling any of these emotions? And of course I am. I go home at the end of the fucking day every day and I sit there and reflect on all this shit, and definitely. But
I feel like women, when they say what you just said, are you processing it? Do you feel these emotions? Us as men, we just process things differently and on a different time.
We literally have to schedule when we process our fucking feelings, bro.
When everything gets done and all the principles and logic.
Let me check my Palm Pilot real quick. Let me see if I got some time to cry today.
You feel me? I get my self-reflection time while I'm taking a shit. You feel me? That'd be my. Listen. You feel me? There's just times where
sometimes taking a shit is our only time to do something.
Do something,
bro. I be trying to multitask when I take a shit. I be trying to write rhymes. I be trying
word
to
of me. I be bringing my laptop right in there. Working on word of me, you are not the only one. And I got my phone in one hand.
But that's what it is. So never mind trying to just think about emotions and think about how to fucking feel this shit. You know what I mean? We just gotta do better. We just
yeah, you feel me? Because
it's just part of the programming, I guess.
Yeah, it really is, man. And this is why, for me personally, because I went through such a ugly, I never want to go through something like that again. You feel me? And that's why, I be letting women know from the jump. I'm polyamorous. I don't do monogamy because to me, I don't feel like the restrictions of monogamy are realistic. If a person has their own faith or belief in anything, that's on them. I don't try to change it. You feel me? The same way.
That's just who you are. And
you feel me?
To be accepted for that.
So,
as you know what I mean?
The type of honesty and upfrontness that women would love and, expect from a monogamous relationship, that's what they get from me. Because I give you all the cards from the jump. Because I'm the type of person that you're not going to sit here and say I lied to you. You're not going to sit here and say that I switched up on you. You knew the program from the gate. You know what I mean? And I'm not one of these, you know, I don't even, whatever bum dudes be, you know, just using females for whatever. But, you know, there's nothing you can give me that I can't get on my own. You know what I'm saying? Like, I refuse to sit around and be disrespected. I refuse to be like, just deal with the things that I've dealt with in prior relationships. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, a lot of people, you know, a lot of women, when they hear that, they're like, very against it and stuff like that, which is fine, you know. I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but I'm definitely somebody's shot of Henny. You know what I'm saying? So, you figured that. I mean, like,
that was good.
I'm keeping it a bang with you. I'm keeping it a bang. So,
wow, that was good.
You know, but I've always said, like, I feel like I'm the perfect rule for the 80-20. Like, 80% of me is so good. Y'all always telling me things. I'm a single father. I take care of 4 children. I cook. I do everything on my own. I work. You know what I mean? I handle my responsibilities.
Yeah.
But that 20% of me that I'm not monogamous and I don't just focus on one being with one. Which, don't get me wrong, when women hear that, they're like, "Oh, he fucks anything." I'm definitely not one of them. I've got bougie dick. I do not fuck anything, you know, just with a pussy. Let's just get that out there right now. So
out there right now.
You feel me? But you know, like I said, I just feel like I just don't have time for everything that we just talked about that we've gone through and have dealt with. Yeah. I don't have time or energy to deal with that shit again. So that's why I put my cards on the table and let it be exactly what it is. You know what
I mean, I can't fault you for that. I wish everybody would do that. You know what I mean?
Exactly my point.
Intentions, like, all right, red flag. You know what I mean?
You feel me? But that's my point.
Make your own assessment.
You've got people that are selfish. You know, they see the good in people, and then they try to take advantage of it or see what they can gain out of it for their benefit. You know, and it sucks. You know, but being older now and the things I've gone through, I assess things and people differently. You know what I mean?
Just comes with the growth, I guess, right?
Exactly. You know what I mean? Either you're going to stay in the cycle or you're going to learn from it. I try to look for every lesson in what they call a loss. So.
Damn, that was good. No, I'm dead ass. Like, this is, I'm glad that you, first of all, I'm glad that you listened to my warning today. But I'm also just really glad that you're here because we've had these conversations on a personal basis, on a personal level. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And you know about some of the shit that I've been through and vice versa. So like having you on here and being the first guest, you know what I mean? Is
I'm the first guest ever.
Yeah, it's just been me. Yeah,
I appreciate that.
You're the first guest.
Inaugural. I like this.
You know, and it's dope, and I would hope that Zip would feel the same. But you know what I mean? It's I want to bring people on that have an interesting perspective. and while it may controversial or not,
listen,
you know what I mean?
I know I ruffle feathers. You feel me?
And I see it.
But at the same time, confrontation don't scare me. You know what I mean? A lot of people run from confrontation, but at the same time, like, I'm a type of person that I just, like, I've been faced with so much ugly. I don't have the choice. Just like he said, we don't have the time to sit around and cry about it. You know what I mean? Or be sad about shit. We just got to deal with shit. You feel me?
Yep.
So
process it at a later date.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
We'll take care of that next week.
Yeah, like, all right, you know what? I'm going to sit down and analyze that when I get a minute. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't feeling that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but like I said, you just got so many people that try to use it as empathy and just play victim all the time. You know what I mean? And those are the type of people that you can't, as much as you may love them or care for them, have a relationship, whatever bullshit title, you know, you just gotta cut them off. Like I don't deal with my birth people, you know what I mean, siblings.
Incubator, none of
yeah,
that.
incubator, sperm donor, none of that.
Yeah.
Siblings, none of that. Anybody from the birth incubator, none of that. You know what I mean?
Solo dolo. That's
You
it.
figure, tell me, like, I don't have nobody. I came out here for my kids, and people see me and compliment me and shit, and I don't do it for that. You know, I don't do it for the attention.
But it helps.
It is very nice and reassuring to hear or to see that people see me who don't owe me a effing thing. And y'all take y'all time to not only read what I go through, watch my videos of me and my kids. You know, I've had people reach out and just tell me, like, man, I wish I had a baby father that did half the things that you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or would show even half the interest that you show your children. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And
I mean, we all see it. You know what I mean? It's
I feel like my kids are just so freaking amazing, and especially when we started doing like wrestling moves and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know, I seen one video of your kid doing some wild shit
Hurricanrana.
off the bed type shit.
Hurricanranas and shit. Anybody, like, I've taught my kids, you know, lucha libre, which is Mexican style wrestling and everything, which is very like acrobatic and high speed and a lot of flips and turns and everything like that. So me and my oldest, we've been making videos and stuff like that since he was like 3.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? And then of course all my other children follow suit for the most part. But you know, to me, just somebody told me that, you know, because I be going through what I go through with, you know, the other adult, that, you know, your kids ain't gonna be kids forever.
Mm-mm.
They'll see who did what, and, you know, it's always there for them and stuff. So I've had to sit there and process and everything, because I know I get furious in myself because when I hear certain things are going on and I like physically can't take control of that situation. You know what I mean? Learning to let go of things that you have no control of. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard to do that in the moment. You know what I mean?
I definitely get
So
that. Took a long time for me and my ex-wife to get to a point where, like, I was, you know what I mean, like me and her current boyfriend, you know what I mean, they've been together since we split up pretty much. So like I definitely see where you're coming from, not being able to control everything that goes on over there.
yeah, you feel me? And I'm not like I said, I'm not a jealous man. I'm just, don't play me for stupid and don't play with my kids. You know what I'm saying? Especially when my kids have already gone through some trauma and bullshit due to selfish choices. So, but if I acted out how I wanted to, you know what I mean, I would not be here for this conversation right now. You know what I'm saying? So, and there was one night where he got close to that. So, yeah.
Let's not do that. If you good, bro, you look like you got something on your mind.
Yeah, there's a million things on my mind.
I'm about to say he going through it. Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like you look like
he's tired, bro. He got off of work.
I keep forgetting that. He's been there all day.
Word.
Selling cars.
He's still here in Gerard Toyota, man.
I was in my work shirt as of like 5 minutes before the show started. So
I'm like antsy. I've been like real anxious lately.
Yeah.
Some of it has to do with things that are going on, but a lot of it actually has to do with where I'm trying to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, it's just life shit. You know what I mean? But I'm straight. You know what I mean?
Of course.
I'm like antsy. I keep thinking I'm dropping shit.
No, you're not. I get like that too. You feel me? I get fidgety and people be looking at me like
fidgeting's like always. Like I think I talked about this in like our first episode.
Yeah,
when I was 8 years old, bro. Like they had to wrap a bungee cord around the chair, my chair at my desk, so I could bounce my feet all day, because like I just wouldn't stop fucking fidgeting with shit, tapping pencils, fucking flicking erasers, like whatever the fuck. So
like,
they ended up wrapping a bungee.
But see, and that's I love that you just spoke on that, because as a person that has anxiety and knowing how other people kind of deal with anxiety and finding coping methods, so that was yours in a sense.
It was almost like a similar to how, because like I experience this with my kids all the time. It's similar to how it's a stim. You know, it's stimulating yourself in a
Yeah,
way. It's like how
yeah,
autistic kids like they
exactly,
stim.
yep.
You know, and it's the same thing
That's
with.
why I was like, Stan, what you talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
I was like,
so
no. I was like,
yeah.
once I heard the whole word, I was like,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, yeah. So
we
like,
talking about something.
so I mean, I was diagnosed with ADHD at like a really young age.
Yeah.
I bet
too.
you if I was reevaluated right now, they would just put me on the fucking spectrum somewhere. Yeah, I mean, like I'm
Nowadays,
dead serious. But
nowadays, absolutely.
but that's neither here nor there. That's just something I've always dealt with my entire life. So like, you know, I get real fidgety, and then you know, like sometimes I overthink, and then sometimes the thoughts are just way too many are happening at one time. You know what I mean? So it's just yeah, it gets a little crazy sometimes. Sometimes I still fucking find it amazing that I can even hold conversations sometimes I actually can't hold a conversation. Like it blows my mind that I can even clock into work sometimes. I'm being dead serious.
No, I agree with you so much on the having conversations part, because I feel like because of the surgeries and then getting jumped and like the memory loss and shit, I feel like words don't come to me as quickly as they used to, and I have to like sit there for a second.
Process.
And like, yeah, like I feel slow. Like I ain't used to do this. Like,
right.
See, I think faster than I can talk.
Yeah, exactly. But some now for me, it's a little like I gotta catch up on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But when we were in the hallway at work, you heard me fall on my face like twice. I just couldn't fucking get it out, bro. It was wild. I'm like, all right, hold on. I need let me back the fuck up a minute. It was wild, but like I totally feel you on my brain moves faster than my mouth does, and it's like the same thing with my writing. That's why I got chicken scratch.
I be having to slow my shit down, man. I be writing down fucking VIN numbers and then like just throwing random shit in there sometimes, like just cause like I'm just going. Yeah.
Is it an 8 or an S? Well, fuck it, we're gonna.
Bro, never mind when I'm on the phone with like an insurance company and they're asking me to use a phonetic alphabet, and I'm like, yo, go fuck yourself. I am not about to use words as the alphabet, dude. You can eat a dick for that. You just better open your ears up, my guy.
Word.
It's fucking.
We bring back the flip phones.
Yeah, I'm not yet.
Pressing it one button at a time. Are you getting all this on the other side? Beep, 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 beep.
Dude.
Yeah, fuck y'all. Just send me the email.
Yo, right?
I'll reply.
Matter of fact, I'll take a picture and just send it to you.
A screenshot will work. That's fine. Screenshot will work.
Yo, I try to avoid handwriting anything if I can. Fuck no, dude.
So let me ask y'all, gentlemen. So, do you both suffer from anxiety or depression?
Yeah.
How would you share to the people some of your own coping methods going through that if you don't take medication?
So, I am a big supporter and advocate for finding ways without medication. Not that I'm against medication. If it works, it works. You know what I mean? But
it's not for everybody. Trust me.
And
it took me years to get there.
And I learned that it wasn't for me.
And that's perfectly fine.
And it's not that I'm closed off to it, to me possibly needing it in the future.
You know what I mean? No.
But you know, the best results for me have happened just through
natural hard work.
Well, not just hard work, but just consistent routines.
Yeah.
You know
I mean hard work by like anybody who knows it. You know what I mean? My mans get busy in the gym. You know what I'm saying?
Well, not even just the gym. Like, yeah, that's a big part of it. Like that, having something that you can hyper focus on at some point in the day is like for me, it deletes the entire world around me. And it's the same thing with being in the studio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But aside from like what the activities are themselves, just having that structure in your life and actually planning things out, following through with your plan and everything. When I started losing weight and actually started taking my fitness seriously, what drove that is committing myself to following through with shit.
Yes. It's
right?
called discipline.
Exactly. Discipline is the biggest thing in my life.
Swear to God.
You know, and honestly, that's something that hindered a lot of relationships. You know what I mean? But if you look back on it now, it was probably good that it opened your eyes up to that, because
absolutely,
you know, like what you were talking about before, like you can't be around people who are just stuck in the same habits,
making
the same mistakes, doing the same shit over and over and over again.
somebody from afar, even if I'm not involved in the direct situation and I see it from far,
You got to fall back.
yeah, you feel me? I don't like funny behavior. You know what I mean? I don't
Right.
like disloyalty. I don't like
No.
that talking
You
about
get one chance to be loyal.
yeah,
Like,
you
get
feel me?
one.
And I'm
Yeah.
just and how many years we done known each other? Well over 10.
Mhm.
Quite
You
a
feel
few.
me? So for all those years and that we've been around each other, especially you and me, you know what I'm saying? Being around each other's kids, families, and stuff like that. You know, the fact that we find common ground, not just in music, but you know, being fathers, you know, committed fathers, you know, sports, fitness, whatever it is. Because before my heart surgeries, I used to love the gym. My body just can't take it like it used to anymore. So, but what are like some of your ways of coping?
Honestly, I put a lot of it. I put a lot of it into just creating. You know what I mean? I do a lot with my photography.
Yes,
I get
yes.
into like
Brand
I
vision.
try to push the boundaries of like what what I mean, what I can do, and I channel all that, and I try to do these little short clip videos and shit like that. I did what I mean? I did this. I asked him to help. You know what I mean? This is what I like doing, helping people. You know what I mean? It's
Okay.
I don't want. I've been at the lowest. We're coming up on 10 years in 3 days since my last suicide attempt. Okay. And
man, you just made me flashback, boy. Let me tell you.
10 years. And 9 years ago, I wanted to do it again.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So I take that and I try to just be real with people. You know what I mean? I try to just give I try to give what wasn't given to me in the time that I needed it the most. You know what I mean? And I just want to give back. I want to do things to help. And I create. That's how I do it. And I'm medicated.
Are you as well?
I am.
Okay. First of all, I'm so glad that you didn't follow through with that.
Me too.
You know what I mean? No
Me
funny
too.
shit, bro.
Nah, for real.
We love you, my nigga.
Appreciate
real
you.
shit.
For real.
You
I
know what I
appreciate
mean?
you.
Your family love you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Goddamn
so
right.
you figured tell me like we are
Yeah.
glad that you here. That shit is never the answer.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
I appreciate it.
I'm just being real with you. Whether the cameras was on or
Nah,
off,
nah,
you would have
that's-
got that same
that's-
shit. You
nah,
feel,
that's-
and you know that.
I do.
You know what I mean?
We've had it before. I
You
definitely,
figured
I
them-
definitely appreciate that.
So the same way you want to help people is the same way I try to speak life into my people that are around me, because I know what it's like to be at that lowest and don't nobody give a fuck about you.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Even
Mhm.
people that so-called family or say that they love you, you
Yep.
feel me? These are the type of things when I talk about patterns and actions, and if your words is just if the actions is not matching the words, to like there's dead weight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To me, there's dead weight. Can you explain what it feels like to face something that gives you depression or anxiety, and that feeling of being able to overcome it? Because anybody that understands anxiety and depression, these are constant battles. This isn't one thing where oh, I don't feel good on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, I'm just gonna sulk in my room. Anybody that understands depression, it's different than being depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just get
It's
that.
not sadness.
You
No.
feel me?
No.
Depression is
It's
some,
isolation.
yeah, it's like
Helplessness.
it's like a dark pit where you just feel like you just said helplessness.
So I'm
like,
gonna throw another curveball at you. I have borderline personality disorder,
I said we was gonna get down to the nitty gritty.
which
and the ugly.
makes the highs really fucking
High.
high. I am God. I am untouchable when
And
I'm
them
there.
lows be a motherfucking whoo, boy.
Dog, when I tell you,
That rabbit hole is a
It's-
dangerous motherfucker. I know, bro. I know.
and I haven't been in 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
but I have been to some really fucking low points.
Listen.
And if I see that in somebody and I can recognize it in somebody and I can try to help them through that, You know what I mean? Like that means more to me
Then it
Then-
does. Then you think it might mean to them, and I
to them
get
it
that.
might just be another person that's just trying to nag them. But to me, I see that's why Derek's death hit me so hard. That man was going through the same shit that I have been through. You know what I mean? Homelessness, fucking. He's been through it all,
Been there, bro.
and
We've all been there.
Dog.
Homelessness, jail.
that shit hits so hard. Like seeing homeless people on the side of the dog fucking tears me up, bro. It's not a fucking time where I don't start getting emotional because I think back to where I was, and I think back to how many people gave a fuck about me when I was down there.
Yeah. I've been there. I came out here.
You know
I
what
came
I
out
mean?
here to New London to the shelter. Anybody that know, like, you know, when I came here from New York for my kids, I was going through it just like that, like seeing all of that around me. You know what I mean? And you can get so mixed up and lost in that mix of shit so easily. And it takes such freaking... What's the word for, like, your pride? Like, you
have to swallow
your... Pause.
Oh, yo, pause.
Yeah. Yeah, essentially.
You gotta starve your ego.
Yeah.
Thank you, Manic. There we go. I like that. That was
you
in
gotta
that was
kill
a clutch. It's for for men. I'll be the first to tell you, especially as an artist, and I'll use my own examples in life. In 2016, when I was having a nice run with my Loose Cannon 2 album, I had like big name features on there. I was on radio with one of those records. I was opening up for big name artists and everything. I started like, even looking back on it, I started like believing in the hype. You know what I mean? Like thinking, letting getting ego. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm on fire, nigga. Ain't nobody with me right now. You feel me? And then that obviously affected, you know, the relationship and everything because.
And then you get a reality check.
Yeah, you feel me? You get the reality check, you know, later on. You know what I mean? Because it's not gonna come. It's not gonna happen like that. You know what I mean? I've said it like, damn, I got caught up being. I got caught up being Ace Cannon instead of, you know, Dylan Laureano. You figure dummy. So I'm just so, because my boy kicked me when I was down and gave me those like real hard truths to deal with. My accountability level is just like, I feel some type of way about myself if I don't have myself accountable. Yeah. You feel me? Because absolutely. I don't like passing blame. I don't like pointing the finger. But if a person did something, I'm going to speak the facts of it. You know what I mean? But then you got people that don't know how to take accountability. You know what I mean? It's always, well, I did this because you did that. You know, it's always a tit for tat.
Yeah.
Get out my head, goddammit. You feel me? So it's just, it sucks, man. Because I feel like when it comes to relationships, people get so caught up in, like I said, the lust and the emotion and everything. And when you really peel back the layers to a person, male or female, doesn't matter. If sex is one of the only things y'all are connecting on, it's not worth it. You know what I mean? And that's how so many relationships people get forced into relationships that they don't want to be in. Children come into, you know, broken homes already before like they're even born. You know what I mean? It's just certain things you see and you look at and you analyze shit differently as you get older. Like, damn, you know, looking back at your own decisions, like, shit, I would have played that shit so differently. You know what I mean? But like I said, those are hard truths that a lot of people, you know, don't want to face.
That's facts.
So,
damn,
it's been a motherfucking dope episode.
Yeah.
Heard me.
Yeah, I mean, we spent the first 15 minutes kind of getting.
Yeah, we had audio technical difficulty, and then our tech genius right here showed up.
I didn't do shit, bro. All I did was decide that
I mean,
we're not using.
We're not using that. We're just gonna share this microphone.
But you showed up, and all of a sudden we got things working. So
yeah, we were ready.
I don't make the.
We was waiting on him regardless. You know what I'm saying? So,
dude, An hour and a half. This is crazy. I
Yeah.
just blinked and we're like,
Really?
Yeah.
I love this.
Listen,
Don't get me talking, man.
we're gonna have to have you come back for a part 2.
I would listen. I love having these open discussions and everything because anybody that's watching, like, these is our real life testimonials. Like, please y'all can talk y'all shit, judge, do whatever you feel you need to do.
You can go check the hospital record.
Yeah, you figure, dummy. Like, these are all our real life situations that we are learning from in real time. You know what I mean? And we're all not just brave enough, but we're also man enough to actually speak about it publicly in front of y'all. You know what I mean? Because we have no shame for the things that we are going through.
Nah.
We're learning about it firsthand. You know what I mean? So, and we got the support of each other. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So when you have a good support system, that'd be beautiful. You know what I mean? And you know, like Troy said, Zip said, myself said, we've all had times where we had nobody, and when you have nobody, that shit really wake you up, like, and show you what you're made of. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really got to get up and go get it. You got to make shit happen for yourself, and you can't wait on nobody.
It was a saying that I heard that says you don't know how strong you are until being strong.
Strong is all you have left. That's your only option. Thank you so much, because I'm like, I was getting. I got you. You was there. You was there with me. You know what you were putting down. Yeah, my nigga, you figured that me. But yeah, man, this has been a great episode. You know, I thank y'all so much for having me and letting me, you know, share my things I've gone through and everything. Zip, thank you for sharing
You already know,
what
man.
you're going through, brother.
You
Thank you all the time. Father Troy, blessings, brother, blessings.
Of course. Yeah, well, hey, we're gonna schedule you for a
you said for a part 2.
For a part 2, yeah, we might even get part 4.
Part
5. Yeah, make this a Star Wars trilogy type shit.
Don't tell me, bro. I'll be here. I'll pull up.
Yeah, bro. I mean, listen. You know where I live. You know where I stay. If you need anything, if you need anywhere to go, my door's always open. My phone is always on.
Likewise, brother.
You know,
you both know that. You both
know that goes for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you both know that.
That's what I'm saying. That's my guy right here.
Big facts,
I mean,
big facts.
I think just in the last year alone, we got
locked in. Locked in, and I love that for y'all.
From the music video to everything else in between, and here we are now. You know,
it all just lined up because it was like I think like
stars aligned.
The same week we shot that video, I got hired at the dealership.
Stars aligning.
It's just been
Stars aligning. Listen, I just speak it what it is. Stars aligning.
Absolutely.
You figured that way. And I love that, man. And it's a shame too, because a lot of people nowadays they be so scared to support their peoples because they think it's dick riding. Or you know what I mean? They don't want to seem like a fan. First of all, fuck all y'all. I am so proud of my brother right here.
Likewise.
Yo,
both
like,
of y'all, for real.
That ass. They're both going through such personal shit, and to see them both persevere to where they at right now. I love both y'all, and I'm so fucking proud of y'all if nobody tells y'all.
We love you too. I definitely appreciate that, bro.
All the time,
for real.
Shit, you already know, man. My mother know you by your fucking first name.
First name, nigga.
Are you bringing Dylan over?
First of all, Kannon said, no, it's
Mr. Kannon.
It's Mr. Kannon to you, Mrs. Zip. Mrs. Zip. Mama Zip. There you go. Mama Zip. There we go. Mama Zip. That's what it was.
Word.
Cause I would really Mama Zip. I'm like, I'd be bad with names and shit. I can recognize faces, but names is like, Mama Zip.
Right.
That's your nickname.
All right, but y'all, it's been an awesome time, bro. I can't thank you enough for pulling up. Zip, I can't thank you.
Thank you again for having me.
Tune in next week when we are gonna have New London's own as well. Famous Phil in the building.
Okay.
Famous Phil.
So we got
superstars in the building.
Word. I love that.
Famous Phil pulling up next Monday, so y'all will see the promo for that. Y'all are gonna see the clips from this week.
I love that.
It's been a great episode. We finally, we're getting into the nitty gritty. We're getting into the real life side of shit. You know what I mean? We took the first couple episodes to kind of get loose. But now we're
You get down to the nitty gritty
Yeah.
about things, man. Like everybody loves talking about, the topics,
Yep.
but getting into detail make people feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? But
facts. But
it's truth. You know what I mean? If you're uncomfortable with truth,
if you're uncomfortable with truth, go and get the fuck
go
out,
ahead.
dude.
Word.
But yeah,
Have a
so
great night, y'all.
catch us next Monday, 8:30 p.m. right here on YouTube and Facebook.
Mental Health
Peace.
Podcast.
Mental Health Podcast. You work.